Now let us see the definition of trigonometric ratios. So remember I told you trigonometric ratios mean they are the ratio of the side. So you know that in a right triangle you may name it with alphabet, because we know one angle it is 90 degree. So we don't have to find, but we still have to find the other two acute angle. You may name it with alphabet A to Z, it's up to you. Or you may use the Greek alphabet, we call theta. This is a Greek alphabet, we call theta. But when you place it, you have to put it inside the triangle, but make sure you put it in one of the acute angle. Because this one angle here, we know it's 90 degree. So you can put it like we have now in algebra, we put x, y for unknown. So here also for unknown angle, you may use this as theta. And remember, theta we must place in acute angle. In acute angle, that means you can place it here or you can place it there. Then you need to know also the side of right triangle. So you already know this is 90 degree. So the side opposite to 90 degree, we call it as hypotenuse. In short, we used to write H. Then you remember we have the other two sides, base and perpendicular. Those two will depend on this angle. So you see, this is the angle theta because we are referring to this. So this side which is very close to theta, we will call it base. Then this side which is opposite or little far from theta, we will call it perpendicular. So hypotenuse will remain the same for each acute angle, but base and perpendicular may be different depend on the acute angle. So like here you see this is hypotenuse. The side which is close to theta, we call it base. The side which is far from theta, we call it perpendicular. Okay. Then here also you have 90 degree. Opposite to 90 degree, we call it hypotenuse. Then now we are referring with this angle. So now this side, it is very close to this angle theta. Now we call this one as base. Then this one we call it as perpendicular. So you need to be very careful. Okay. You need to be very careful because here you see, okay, opposite to 90, that is hypotenuse. So whether you use this angle or this angle, it will not change. It remain the same. But base and perpendicular, they exchange position. Depend on the acute angle you use. If you use this angle, this will be base, this will be perpendicular. If you use this one, this will be base, this will be perpendicular. So that you will not confuse what you will do, just remember that, okay? You can hold angles like this and see this side which is hypotenuse, forget it, it will be different. You only have to look at these two, which are the other two sides which form 90 degree, okay? Here also, you can see this one which is close to this acute angle, okay? You hold angle like that. This side which is close to this acute angle, we call it base. This one which is far, we call perpendicular. And like here also you see, this one is very close to this, we call it base. Then that one we call it perpendicular, because hypotenuse will always be opposite to 90 degree. So remember, opposite to 90, we have hypotenuse. Close to acute angle, we call it base. Far from acute angle, we call it perpendicular. Here also, you can see close to this one we call it base. Far we call it perpendicular. It's up to you. You may call it base or adjacent side. You may call it perpendicular or opposite side. But hypotenuse is hypotenuse. So remember, in a same triangle, hypotenuse remains same. But base and perpendicular, they will exchange depend on the position of the acute angle. Okay. So now from the ratio of this perpendicular, base and hypotenuse, we will get the definition of the 6 trigonometric ratios. Okay. So when after you finish to mark this one, then you can see like this. Okay. For sine of theta or any unknown angle, remember, if you take perpendicular, you divide by hypotenuse. perpendicular by hypotenuse, that give us definition of sin theta. Then if you take base divide by hypotenuse, that give us a definition of cos theta. If you take perpendicular divide by base, that will give us tan theta. If you know those first three, the other three you can remember easily. They are just the opposite of the first one. Then hypotenuse divide by perpendicular, you get cosec. Hypotenuse divide by base, you get sec theta. Base you divide by perpendicular, you get cot theta. Remember, sine is opposite of cosec, cos is opposite of sec, tan is opposite of cot theta.